Folks, I'm standing right now on the corner of McDermott and Main Street, and you're seeing the corner lot that is part of the parcel that we purchased, that it now belongs to St. Anne's. You hear the traffic going by, but you get a sense of the space that we have. I've put up our temporary vinyl sign so that as people pass by, they're going to get used to seeing that St. Anne's will be located here. If you're wondering what those cones are, the hope is that the cones are covering up some concrete footings that was supposed to have been a road sign that was going to be installed by the city of Conway as a road sign. But now we think we will be able to use those footings for a sign of our own. Here's my truck. It's the back of the building with the security light on. And here we go. Okay, folks, so this might be a little shaky, and I apologize for that, but this is the church as ours. I got a phone call a little while ago saying that former owners have completely cleared everything out, and it is now our church, and I'm gonna walk y'all in. So here we go. Walking in through the front entrance vestibule area. These are the chairs that we picked up from Lenore Community College. These will be at least the first installment of our chairs. Heading to the right here, the space that you're seeing in front of you will eventually be a classroom space. And I'm going to do a little bit of a 360 just to give you an idea of the entire space that we're dealing with. And what you're seeing right now will be the back area of the nave. You get a sense of the openness of the space as I walk around, looking back towards the front entrance. I'm now standing up against the back wall, and this is basically the view of what will be our worship space. The altar and font and pulpit will be in front of you. To the right, where the current retail desks are now, that space will be closed off and will turn into the sacristy. To the right of that, behind that wall that you're seeing there, will be the office. And we'll sort of do a half wall, roughly halfway between the two pillars that you see on the left and the right of the screen. Roughly halfway, there'll be a wall that goes up about knee height, and there will be a set of windows to let the natural light come in. But again, this is the first shot that we get of the space that St. Anne's will be calling home. It's exciting. Very exciting. And this cross that I'm showing right now, EFM bought that cross for St. Anne's. And that cross will go up against that wall, and it'll be sort of the liturgical focus of the space. So these videos are actually shot out of sequence. What you're now seeing is I've set up some chairs inside that are socially distanced so that if the weather does not cooperate with us during the weekday for our weekday gatherings, we can actually come inside. I moved one of the retail desks over to sort of be a makeshift altar. So we're making the most. When I moved it, actually, this is kind of cool. When I moved the desk, I found a little bit of detritus underneath it, and a contribution of $2.14 in quarters and nickels and dimes and pennies was left. But anyway, walking along here just to continue the virtual tour. This will be the sort of the sacristy area. Now technically I'll be in the sacristy, and it will come to about where the edge of the wall is now. So you can get a sense of the kind of space that we'll have for a sacristy. I apologize if I'm giving anyone vertigo. Beyond the sacristy, what you're seeing now will be the office space, and that shelving will be removed. But again, pretty decent size office and decent size sacristy. What you're seeing here will be roughly where the altar will go, up on a platform that's about 18 inches raised. Continuing on, I'll show you the back area, then we'll cut to a different video. But entering the back area here, this will be the kitchen prep area, and there will be a refrigerator that will be placed here, sort of under the stairwell. And then we'll have countertop space, pantry space, that sort of thing, running along this wall. And further in here will be more of a kitchen prep area. There'll be a small closet enclosing the breaker boxes, but cabinets, shelving out to there. That door will remain roughly where it is, although we'll close in the second side door, so there won't be a double door. And then we'll have more shelving and cabinet space, prep area along that wall. Plan is to have a Dutch door, roughly where you see the door frame now. But this area that I'm entering now will be set aside for adult education, EFM, that sort of thing. It's where the vestry will meet. We'll have a conference table in here. And I'm backing up to the back wall, and I'm now right up against it. So there will be a door connecting the worship space to this room off of that area. There will also be a viewing window. So pretty good sized space for EFM. We're hoping to cut a window somewhere in here for extra natural lighting. As I mentioned to the folks who tuned in on Sunday, this pillar here is permanent and will come out to about right here. We'll have a little workstation set up so anyone who wants to come and use a computer or what have you can do so. From here to the right until you see about that second pillar roughly will be the width of the nursery. And again, the nursery will be about 20 feet from the back wall to the front wall abutting the worship space. This area here will remain sort of the janitor's closet, and then bathroom area. We'll have to bring out the wall a little bit this way, but this is where the bathrooms will be. Continuing on around, this door will disappear, or at least be moved over a little bit. And here we are, back into the main worship space. So, first installment. Next installment. So, I would like to take you upstairs in the back area. It's not a space that we can use immediately from the outset. However, the hope is that we'll eventually be able to. So again, this is the kitchen prep area, if you recall that from the last portion of video that we saw. And the stairs you see in front of you will go up. They're fairly wide stairs, but relatively sturdy. And it takes us up to an unfinished area. You see the floorboards are unfinished. But the space up here is where ductwork will go. And we can use this entire area for storage, at least initially. And then hopefully once we get access to a lift or something like that, we'll be able to use this for gatherings like a youth room or choir space, that sort of thing. So, again, you see the ductwork, see the water heater, and what you're seeing now is the back wall of the building. And I'll show you, just to kind of get an idea of what the space we're dealing with is made of. You can see right now, this is the pegboard, and if you see through the holes there, you can get some sense that you're looking at the worship space right now through those holes. You can roughly see the front entrance. So it's just a layer of pegboard that's between this area and the worship space. So we're hoping to enclose that in drywall. But this is a pretty decent size space, and this wall here is not permanent. It's just a divider. So this whole area up here is wide open, and we can make use of it for storage and for whatever else we will need it in the future. Pretty cool. Last but not least, I'm going to take y'all upstairs to the front upstairs area. So I've just left the front door, the front entrance, and sort of walking along what will be the narthex or the vestibule, and entering this space here, which will be a classroom that will run basically from where that pillar is right now. There'll be a wall along the side here, and this will be a classroom space for adult education. This door in front will be walled off, and the entrance to the stairwell will actually be roughly here. So emergency exit, and then up the stairs we go. Again, this is the front upstairs area. There's a window upstairs in case anyone wants to have a look at the cars going by. So upstairs in this area here, got a little bathroom kitchenette, and then it opens up roughly 1,200 square feet of space. The walls you see in front of you there are temporary. They'll probably be removed in short order to open the floor space up. But get a sense, there's a little office space that used to be the office space for the bookstore up here. We can keep it as is or transform it into something else. Right next to the office space, this closet back here, we're going to reserve that for the IT room, so all of the electronics and other various technological gadgets will be in that space. So this gives you a sense of the upstairs area, what the view is like down to the worship space below. And there are 4 windows running along the wall there, but there you go. And you'll see what I've done. Again, these are shot out of sequence, but I've given just a sense of what an altar would look like in the space. So we'll leave it there.